You're supposed to work out today, but you're tired. You've had a long week. You tell yourself, I'll skip today. I'll make it up tomorrow. It feels good. You get to rest and keep your identity as someone who works out. But here's what you don't see. You're making a choice that wipes out all your values tomorrow. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Self-Control from Fitness to Flourishing. Here's an exaggerated analogy. Imagine a driver who focuses only on the 6 inches of road directly in front of the car. They can navigate a few feet. They can avoid the immediate pothole. They can steer around the immediate obstacle. But they can't see the cliff ahead. They can't see the wrong turn that will leave them stranded in a desert. They can't see the storm coming. The driver tells themselves, I'm making good progress. But they're not. They're driving blind. Eventually, they'll go over a cliff. This is what happens when you make decisions based only on the immediate moment. You feel good today. You avoid discomfort today. You get what you want today, but you can't see what's coming tomorrow. You can't see the cliff. There's a principle that, if ignored, causes all kinds of problems. It's called range. Range means this: never judge your desires or your choices based solely on the immediate moment. Judge them based on your entire lifespan. A rational person recognizes that their life is a continuous process. They refuse to regard any moment as cut off from all the others. They live and think long range. Conversely, if you only perceive your immediate needs, for example, the need to stop feeling hungry or to avoid immediate difficulty, then you don't consider possible consequences. If you only make decisions based on what you want right now, ignoring what those decisions mean in the context of your entire life, you can get yourself into trouble. For example, you skip a workout because you're tired today. It feels good. You get rest. But you've just taught yourself that tiredness is a valid reason to not follow through on your plans. You've just weakened your commitment. You've just made it easier to skip tomorrow. One skipped workout becomes 2. 2 becomes a week. A week becomes a month. A month can become a year. And suddenly, you're no longer someone who works out. You're someone who used to work out. You pursued comfort today, and it wiped out all your values tomorrow. This is the core problem with short-term thinking. It leads to self-destruction. It leads to psychological deterioration. It leads to a loss of personal control. A person who pursues a desire today that wipes out all of their values tomorrow becomes their own destroyer. Consider the analogy of the traveler and the mountain peak I used in the last episode. They see the peak on the horizon and decide they're already there in spirit. But they have no supplies for the winter yet to come. The traveler could gather supplies today. They could prepare. They could plan ahead. But that requires effort, sacrifice, and discomfort today. So the traveler thinks, I'll worry about winter when it comes. But winter comes, and the supplies are now even more difficult to acquire. This is short-term thinking. You pursue comfort today. You ignore the future. And the challenge, when it arrives, will have expanded, perhaps beyond your capacity to handle. Your life is not a series of isolated moments. Your life is a continuous process. Every choice you make today affects who you are tomorrow. Every workout you skip weakens your practice. Every commitment you break weakens your integrity. Every comfort you choose over growth weakens your character. But the reverse is also true. Every workout you show up for strengthens your practice. Every commitment you keep strengthens your integrity. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you strengthen your character. You're not just making a choice in this moment, for this moment. You're building a life. You're building a self. You're building a trajectory. And that trajectory either leads toward flourishing or toward self-destruction. There's no middle ground. So, where's your cliff? Maybe it's your health. You eat poorly today. You skip exercise today. You ignore sleep today. Then, one day, your body has developed diabetes or high blood pressure or obesity. Is that your cliff? Maybe it's your career. You avoid difficult projects today. You skip skill development today. You ignore market changes today. Then, one day, you're obsolete. Is that your cliff? Maybe it's a relationship. You avoid difficult conversations today. You skip quality time today. You ignore growing distance today. Then, one day, the relationship is changed beyond the possibility of repair. Is that your cliff? Maybe it's your character. You compromise your values today. You make an exception today. You ignore the pattern today. Then, one day, you don't recognize yourself. Is that your cliff? There are always cliffs. You just can't see them when you're only looking 6 inches ahead. When you're tempted to skip a workout, don't ask, how do I feel right now? Ask, what does this choice mean for my fitness over the next year, the next 5 years, the next decade, for the rest of my life? When you're tempted to compromise your values, don't ask, can I get away with this today? Ask, what does this choice mean for my character over time? Who am I becoming by making another compromise? Long-range thinking forces you to see beyond the immediate moment. And when you see beyond the immediate moment, the right choice becomes obvious. This principle scales to everything. In every domain, the same pattern emerges. People only look 6 inches ahead and wonder why they go over the cliff. So, your life is a continuous process. Every choice today affects your entire future. But understanding this isn't enough. You also need to know what leads to effective actions. That is, actions that not only align with your highest values, but also lead to you realizing your most important goals. Which is why the next pillar for making better choices is principles. In tomorrow's episode, we'll explore how best to learn the principles you need to exercise virtuous self-control, whatever the circumstances. Because the virtuous choice isn't just the one that serves your long-term flourishing. Ideally, it's the one that reinforces your personal excellence immediately, even as it best serves your future. That's it for today. Catch you next time.